Hello YouTube, Malagant here, man. Right, so we're going to be doing something different today. We're going to be opening a level 1 character, and we're just gonna chill out. We're just gonna like talk about stuff that is going on with the Grim Dawn, and you will be able to see me like this is going to be like a empty stash, empty character completely. I'll most likely be following the exactly the same route. I also have like a sneaky little idea at the very end after killing Warden. I want to show something. So if you really despise my videos and would like to see, maybe like skip to the end and like see what's up. I found a rifle here. That's pretty cool, man. And it hits pretty hard. I think we're going to be a necromancer, by the way. I want to mess around with like pets and stuff. It's gonna be cool. So one thing that I like to do is that like I like to like remove the left click so that like we can always move to instead of like getting stuck like this. You know what I mean? The thing that you can do is always like remember, you can always hold down shift in any ARPG, almost, and then when you left click, even though you have like move to, you'll be able to attack. So that's a good thing that you can do. The thing that I also like to do is like collect every single books like this, or the lore notes, if you would like to call them that. Simply because like they give a lot of experience at the very start. They always give the same amount of experience, but the thing is, at the start it boosts you, so it's a good thing. Let's put the Necromancer skeletons here. Kill this guy. So I think like I'll try and run through the entire Act 1 and see like what sort of a level we're gonna get, without like any sort of help of like XP pots, or like I don't necessarily know, like obviously someone that is like jumping into this game, especially for the first time as like a new character, they come and then they see me like speed level, and then there's like a couple of items in my in my bags, and they're like, okay, what is that item, what is this item? At the end of the day, the one that makes the biggest difference is, in my opinion, the experience potion. And I talked about some sort of like a milestones. If you would like to check that out, there's a video in my YouTube channel called, I think, Dawn Milestones or something like that. I think that thing is like pretty cool. It's kind of like talks about what sort of like let's say improvements that you can go for your account rather than like your character alone. I'll take the movement speed here, I think. Yeah, I think move speed is going to be better. Also, let's try to like rush for the Undead Legion. About these skeletons, you can actually see like how many of them are alive on the bottom left. I am not necessarily a summoner player at all, by the way. For the most part, how I feel about summoners is that like I actually extremely enjoy playing something that like my character is very strong at. You know what I mean? And the reason is because like when you're playing a summoner, I feel like I'm getting carried by other stuff, and then I'm just don't deserve to be there or something. I know it probably doesn't make any sense, but I don't know actually. Hey, something dropped. Let's pick that up. I probably need some like aether crystals as well. They're going to be needed for some quests. Unless we're gonna like use stuff from the bank, but I want this one to be like incredibly southbound, just for the sake of this video, nothing else. It's not necessarily like I have an aim or anything, not really. Just wanted to have some sort of like a chill video soon. So I was talking about something, and I managed to space out again. Look at this, man. Let's see. We have some pants with like double HP, that is good. I obviously wore the movement speed boots over resistance. That is cool. Potions. At the very start, I usually like to go for... Yeah, we can TP out from here, but like I kind of also want the aether crystals. I think they're going to be useful, so I'm gonna hit the aether crystals on the left side. There's a movement speed upgrade over here. We're gonna use that. At the very start, I like to go to Sailor's Guide. You know, one thing that I'm gonna tell you, like again, if you're a very new player to this, keep, like, I have been getting a lot of questions about this the past couple of days, past 2 days or something. Keep the devotions incredibly simple. opening the devotion like constellation window, and then you're like, okay, what is this? What is that? Like, it's just gonna overwhelm you, and I think it would even overwhelm me. Maybe even at this point, you know what I mean? Okay, what is this again? What is that again? Like, if you check out my like patch recaps, for instance, it is so apparent. You know, I don't necessarily know literally everything. It's almost impossible. So imagine someone jumping into the game for the first time. Like, how the hell are you supposed to learn every single constellation? So we have on the top over here, we have like a, you know, search bar. And what are we doing right now? We are doing a Necromancer, right? And we are like summoning stuff. So they're pets. Basically, I go to the devotions, I write pets. Look, stuff are pinging. You see those? Just get something, you know? That's as simple as that. Like, keep it extremely simple at the start. Don't get overwhelmed by the devotions, because like it is very simple to also respec out of them. It is one of the simple systems in this game that like it doesn't even like get more expensive, or like there's any disadvantage to like, you know, keep on respecking from devotions. No, that's not the case. The other day I was progressing on my Oathkeeper and I respect literally during a boss fight, because like I wanted more stun resistance. Yeah. So on the right next to the energy bar, you can make the minimap. It's a bit bigger. I think that's more convenient. On the left side we have the loot filter. We can remove the common drops, the white drops. We don't necessarily need them anymore. New shoulders. That's nice. What do they give? Physique cunning. Alright. I mean, I recently like talked about this on another video about like the stats, especially while leveling. Like physique definitely dumpsters the others guys. But again, don't worry about it. It is very simple to respec out of that as well. So like maybe we could put 1 point, right? 2 points actually. Go like this, so that like I can put 1 point into this the next level. That's what I was thinking. We also have a devotion point. We're gonna go for the sailor guide first. It gives like a little bit of like resistance, a little bit of like movement speed, a little bit of like physical resistance if I'm not mistaken. It's a pretty good leveling. Also, it's a pretty good like blue, in my opinion. Constellation, that is. Most of my constellations, like, they change all the time while leveling. Sometimes even most of my build changes while leveling. Just because like even if I like, you know, open one of those websites like Room Tools and then like theorycraft for hours and then decide to like make some sort of a build, it is not necessarily going to be like the devotion setup that I ended up finding over there. Definitely not. Simply because like there's a better way to level, and you figure that out. Definitely along the way while you're playing this game, you definitely figure that out. I've seen like some comments both on YouTube and like on my Twitch channel. Stuff like, you know, I cannot play as like you so much because like I need to hit every single corner. Actually, like most of the time I'm like that too. Not anymore in Grim Dawn, but like if you would give me, I'm incredibly passionate about like RPGs. RPGs as well, but like mainly character progression, maybe a little bit of story, like you know, Dark Souls, Witcher, those type of like stuff. Neo has been amazing for me. I'm actually like, you know, waiting to play Sekiro as well, but now we have, you know, this game, so obviously I'm not going to be checking it out for some time to come. But so I do explore everything as well. But what happens is that like I have played this game for so long that you know, slowly like I stopped hitting every single location in the map. It is very simple actually. Why? Is because, you know, the last 5 times I have been in that corner, I didn't necessarily get anything. Or I did get something, but it was like irrelevant in an hour. So do I really need to get it? So I kind of like know what, you know, I knew when I was cancelling what it was, so it wasn't necessary. So I started hitting necessary spots, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like a sharpening sort of thing. I don't necessarily like expect anyone to be hitting the same places that I do, or not necessarily, let's say, I am not necessarily saying my locations that I'm like visiting, they're like the, you know, go-to locations at all. Not at all. Actually, like most of the time I'm maybe even like wasting some time. You know, definitely not the best efficiency or whatsoever. It's just it's some sort of like a route that, you know, ended up happening in time. Hey, we have like 3 archers. One cool thing about these skeletons is that, like, if I am not mistaken, the archers are pretty good and the mages are pretty good, and they recently like buffed the mages a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, that is pretty good too. I think they scale better or something. I actually don't remember the patch notes. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, we should probably sell some stuff, right? This is getting a little bit out of hand. Let's see. What up, man? Alright, that is that. This guy's gonna ask for like some aether crystals. Hopefully we have enough. Most of the quests like these are like not only retroactive, but also at the same time, maybe I'm not supposed to say that. But also, if you know about this quest and if you decide to do it retroactively, then, you know, this guy like asked, for instance, aether crystals. You can actually, like, instead of taking the quest and then turning it back, you know, 90% of the time or maybe every time, you're capable of in this game, as you're accepting the quest, just return it, if that makes sense. That's what we did there, and that's very cool implementation actually. It actually amazes me how like very cool implementations exist in this game, but at the same time we have like very stupid limitations. Excuse me. Yeah, we did talk about like quality of life improvements that we could have had. We can kind of speak to the guys inside as well, why not? I'm kind of wondering like where should we go? So +1, I'm gonna make this +2 and then I'll put 1 more point into the summon them 1 more time. We actually have a maze with us this time. It's nice. Oh, that being said, I think we could actually like have 4 of them this time. Right. So maybe summon it 1 more time. It's actually 5. Yeah, that's some of the bad thing about this is that like it kind of overwrites the one that you have, you know what I mean? That's kind of weird. I dropped this on the floor. I don't think it's going to be useful. Let's try to like get some slith necklaces. Try to get some slith necklaces so that like we can complete that quest as well. The quest is pretty good while leveling. You get like 10% elemental resistance. Pretty valuable, I would say. Let's hit this place as well so that like I can get some necklaces. We're getting pretty strong right now. The skeletons will start carrying me and I can like start running around instead of like shooting at all. It looks that way to me. Getting pretty strong now. Polished emerald. More onto keeping it simple on the devotions. We can actually like continue talking about that. This is very important. So like you don't necessarily need to be a pet either. Like, you know, we can generalize this. Like every single character has a way of dealing DPS, let's say. Some of them are like fire, some of them physical, you know what I mean? Right now, what are we? We are mainly pet right now. So, you can be lightning, you can be mental. So, first things first, you should, in my opinion, choose something. That's pretty important. So, in this case, for us, we have chosen the race skeletons, right? So, therefore, my DPS is pets. So, if you select, let's say, Inquisitor, and you choose to level up with like Word of Pain, then it's going to be elemental DPS, you know what I mean? So you're gonna want to like give elemental percentages, let's say. And Another very important part about this is that like at the very beginning of the game, you guys, no matter what sort of a character you're making, like 95% of the time it is just better to focus one AoE spell and then like max it out. You know what I mean? Like right now, what I am doing right now is basically like this is gonna be my carry, so I need to commit to this. Now the same thing can be said for like DPS as well. So this is going to be my carry, and it is pet's damage, so I need to commit to the pet damage, nothing else. Everywhere. My items, my devotions, my components. If you can support it from everywhere, you can actually face roll not only the normal difficulty, but also probably the veteran difficulty as well. It is true that like not every single spell is, you know, shining at any point of this game, especially in the early points. Like for instance, Word of Pain is a very magical start. The summons, they definitely have a magical start as well, hands down. You know, you can contribute. For instance, like Oathkeeper, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily have a magical start. You know what I mean? It requires a little bit of a build up. Nightblade might require this too, so it requires like level 8, level 9, something like that. A couple of like points, so that like you can put, you can reach somewhere that is going to be, you know, very good for leveling, and then at the same time you can put some points into it. But skeletons are right at the beginning. You know, at level 2 you can actually like have 2 points into it. And then the same thing can be said for like Word of Pain or like Force Wave. It is the same thing. When it comes to like spells, how they act is that they're usually extremely good at leveling, simply because like they're very good at AoEing also. But one thing that can be said about them is that like usually boss kills are a little bit better with weapons. That's what I felt. But then you're gonna need to obviously like keep your weapon up to date as well. So the weapon DPS, you know? Not only the percentages are enough, but also since your weapon is the base damage of your spell, or a big portion of it, let's say. Die, please. Nice. Yeah, we can start using this. Why not? I actually need to like tap some stuff as well. I am having second thoughts if I should like stop looting magic items at this point. We're like level 10. We're doing okay. I'll say we're doing okay. That is fine. Cold and frostburn damage. Interesting. Sure. Doesn't really mean much. Sell this one as well. Turn back. And we're at 10. So when do you select the secondary class, right? At level 10 this pops up. I think that's definitely like the answers to that definitely changes according to like what you're playing every single time and what you want to do. But no matter what you want to do, in my opinion, like the first thing that I said is very important. Just max out the thing that is gonna carry you. Like the only thing that I can like shy away from this and put a point somewhere else would be something like if I'm playing a Nightblade, I would like to have the Shadow Strike so that I can speed up. You know what I mean? That would be pretty important in my opinion. That would be pretty important. $5% HP on this thing with 61 armor sounds very good to me. Let's get that. We also have like a couple of devotion points, don't we? I think I have 2. So we can put those 2 here. What are we gaining? Physique, defensive ability, slow resistance, freeze duration reduction. Pretty good. I have actually like sort of failed. Like I have been passing here like so many times. I've actually like sort of failed making like an optimal route from here. Okay, there's like the Engrim guy that we need to save on the right side, and then also there's a cave just north of here that I need to take a devotion shrine in. There's like the Ulgrim cook that I need to hit, and then there's some guys that I need to kill on the left side, and then there's obviously the Barwich portal. So what I decided to do is that, like, I'm actually gonna go to the portal from here, and then from there we will backtrack. Maybe not to cave. For the cave we can TP over here one more time. Maybe. We'll see. This is the best part about this. Like, you see how the pets are just like carrying me? This is crazy. I don't even need to do anything. See, I don't want this to be like my end game, let's say. That is usually why I don't necessarily enjoy um, playing summoners. But no lie, this is very, very chill right now. It is funny, actually. We couldn't find any pet bonuses stuff yet. Hey, this is an upgrade. But I cannot use... There's no more cunning. In this case, if you really want to like use this, just feel free to put one cunning to it. Like, it is fine. That is exactly what I meant in the video when I was saying, like, if you would like to use an item, just feel free to put it. It's fine. Like, you will respec out of it anyways. At the end of the day, it's not the biggest deal. One thing that I would like to talk about is that in that video, I actually decided not to talk about it because it was getting just too long. I wanted to keep that as simple as possible because it was, you know, not one of my regular videos. Wait, let's say, you know how they like made it so that like cunning and spirit is giving HP as well now? With like patch 1.1 I think now. Let's just start using this, is fine. I like my rifle. So, what is different about that is that like we are not only gaining physique and cunning from there obviously, like, you know, we are gaining like from these as well. You know, from those especially. And then we're gaining some from like devotions, we're gaining some from, you know, components. One massive thing about this is that like some of the classes have like, you know, very bad physique gain, very bad HP gain, like Arcanist, Occultist, you know, Demo, stuff like that. They're definitely buffed thanks to this change, and I think it was, you know, it was a very good change because like at the same time the beefy characters, they didn't necessarily get so affected at either. Like they definitely got buffed also. They are gaining some spirit and cunning from their masteries too, but not as much as the others, which is in my opinion very good. And at the same time, like they didn't necessarily increase the damage that is being dealt towards you, so hands down something like a Spellbreaker is tad and like just a tiny little bit, you know, tankier now, or beefier now, let's say. And in my opinion, that's a really good change, for sure. Let's speak to the cook. Somewhere around here, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, I actually wanted to mention my key bindings. So, you can see the numbers on them, pretty much, right? Like 1 to 7 over here. This is G for me. And then afterwards, this is F. So G, F. But 1 to 6, I use 1 to 6. Let's TP over here. Go to the cave, take the devotion point. And then for the heal pot and the energy pot, I actually went to options, key bindings. You see this 9 and 0. Like, that is not the case. I'm not pressing 9 and 0 for the, you know, heal and the energy. No way. I'm actually pressing Q and E. Look at this. There's a, you know, different drink health potion, drink energy potion. Just change these to something that you're used to from, like, I don't know, from another ARPG or something. I was very used to Q, probably from Diablo 3. And, yeah, now I made it over here. So one good thing about this is that, like, you can, you know, you can, thanks to this, you can actually, like, put something else here if you would like to. We could put, like, pet attack or something. We could put another potion. So it's opening some space in your, basically, action bar. And you will always be able to, like, press just E or Q to, like, either heal yourself or get some, like, energy or something. It's very, very good in my opinion. Shit, it's blocked. Wasn't expecting that. How about these gloves? We don't have good gloves yet. What about those? Yes? Oh yeah. I deal PS damage with my rifle now. Let's max this out. That mage just destroyed them. Skeletal mage. It's like an AoE spell. Oh yeah, now we're gonna have waypoint back obviously to the Burrowwitch. garbage. And we can also like put this movement ability. That's nice. Let's start moving faster a little bit. So is that a pet? This is a little bit better than mine still. So from here, I'm gonna make my, you know, make my way towards the, what's it called again? Like here or something? Shore? It's not a shore. Port? Let's say port. I think it's a port, right? Abandoned waterfall. If you would like to farm some items, this cave right over here is not a bad place to hit, you guys. Hit that cave. Get some items out of it. It's like some sort of like a wreckage that you can loot. That is usually, if I'm not mistaken, it's an exalted chase, basically, like a one-shot chest quality. About these one-shot chests, they're called like exalted stash, I think, exalted chest. And you know, like you can only loot those like once per character in that location, but that chest is like always there and it's like incredibly valuable. Yada yada. So, you know, if you want to like try really hard, you can actually like save some of the chests and then open them later on, you know, with like a high level character or something when you're higher level. But don't do this on like normal and elite, like, because normal and elite, like these chests, they don't necessarily depend on your level actually. Well, I mean it's connected, but and they depend on the area's level basically. So what that means is that like this area can only scale up to like, let's say, level 30 or something. So the chest can maximum be level 30, even if I'm level 90. So just what the hell, just open it, you know. So that being said, like elite and elite and normal difficulty, I would just open them all the time. But the ultimate difficulty, if you'd like to try hard, maybe keep them around like till you're like level 90 or something. So the location scales to like level 94, and you will be able to you know, get like the mythical legendaries, let's say. But that's definitely something that I do, especially after resetting my account when I need to try hard, because like, as I told this like multiple times, in fact, first characters, they're like definitely a lot harder to play compared to like the ones that are coming afterwards. Even if you die in a hardcore, the next character is going to be a lot easier. Simply put, maybe you reach the experience potions. Well, there you go. You're gonna have like so much easier time leveling up. Or maybe you had like some items in the bank, you know what I mean? So now, thanks to this, I don't know, like your new character is going to be much stronger. Or maybe you actually managed to get to the mandates. So what are mandates? Extra reputation. So you'll be able to, you know, progress with the reputation. You don't necessarily need to farm anymore. So in the best case scenario would be like, you know, completing some very good legendary items to the stash, so that even if you die, you'll be like, well, I wanted to check this weapon out anyways, let's theorycraft a new character around this weapon. And that is how usually goes for me. When I die, instead of being sad, I feel miserable instead. Nah, it's not like, I'm pretty chill when it comes to dying. I think the most hurtful death was it is usually the ones that, like, when you are not necessarily prepared for what is coming your way. Like the Deathstalker one, my latest one, was, oh my god, it was such a headache. Such a headache. I was enjoying that character so much. And out of nowhere, he just like two-shots me, and he comes from the bottom of my screen. That was very pain and suffering, I must say. It's just crazy. So we are making our way towards like the Warden lab, actually. First the prison and the lab, or something like that, right? We have, if I'm not mistaken, we can actually like summon 7 of them now, and we are maxed out on the raised skeleton. So they're very strong, trust me. It's no joke. Right now they should be able to carry me like maybe even like to Act 4 or something there. That is how strong they are going to be. And you might ask yourself why. Simply because, like, think about it this way. Doom Dawn limited you to put 16 points over here, but the, you know, the character progress is still 100. but we managed to get to 16 and 13 levels. So, in like a, you know, scuffed way of saying it, maybe we are, you know, having this for like a level 100 kind of guy, if you would like to say it that way. Obviously it's not that simple, because like a level 100 would have a lot of pet damage and whatnot, but at the very least the base part is fixed. I like my rifleman. It has done a lot for us, I think. Alright. Some pet damage wouldn't be so bad. So bonus to all pets. Alright. Bonus to all pets, 7% attack speed. Let's get that. Let's get that. Why not? What's this chest? Aether HP? Nah. Base is blocked. We have like 3 peasants. There's a little bit of RNG when it comes to this. I'd like try and summon new ones. I don't necessarily know if you're like getting rid of, you know, like the valuable ones. That is like the worst part of this, I think. Getting everything mages and the archers would be just lovely, I would say. We put 1 point into this? Yeah, why not? Let's go like this. It's an aura, right? The spectral binding. It's been a while I didn't play a Necromancer, so. Let's see if we can go this way, actually. I want to go this way. I almost died there because, like, when you level up, or put some points into, like, anything that has to do with, like, raised skeletons, unfortunately it just despawns everything you have. That's pretty annoying, but it only makes sense. I suppose they cannot be scaled while they're alive, so that is probably why it's killing everything, so that, like, you respawn the new ones that are stronger or something. I'm not sure. We can start running around with the shield, in fact, right? Have a spot for it. Ooh, 8 of them now. Oh, remember, like, when we kill the warden, I think he's gonna drop his MI. And the MI means, the MI says, actually, that you can summon 1 extra skeleton. That's pretty good for this character. And he usually drops it. I mean, there's a chance that he won't, but he usually does. In worst case, just kill him again. Just restart your game, kill him again. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion. If you're playing this guy like this. Very easy and very chill way of leveling. Definitely. Even if you fail scaling it, it will definitely carry you up to a certain point very easily. Pets are pretty strong until they start dying, and they start dying when they don't necessarily have resistances. Fixing some of the resistances for the pets might actually be annoying. I'll say it's worth killing the Aether Pistols. So you probably should do it too. Oh, one thing that I actually forgot, like, instead of having this attack over here, we could have like pet attack, so that like we can manually control literally where they are attacking, and that's very useful, obviously. Very, very useful, that thing. So the next thing that we're gonna do in this case is that we're gonna go for the Fiend. Because the Fiend and the pets, they have like a, well, especially the raised skeleton spell, it has like a very interesting interaction, guys. How it works is that like the Fiend actually like spawns on every single one of them, unless they kind of changed it, which is definitely possible, because like it is very strong, very strong. I do remember that they added a little bit more of a cooldown into the Fiend. I do remember that, but I don't necessarily know if they changed how it interacts with the pets. So what I mean is that since we have like 8 skeletons, every single one of them is going to be capable of like having their own Fiend proc, let's say. So thanks to that, like, it will be 8 times more efficient or effective. What we could do is like we can place the pets right next to like a beefy target, like a boss or something, and when they start attacking, the Fiend procs on every single one of them, and then the boss gets hit by like 8 different Fiend procs. I think that was like the better explanation, in my opinion. This is such a mess. I don't even know what's going on. But they're dying. What about this chest piece? Is it worse than mine? Yeah. Just gonna drop it on the floor, I think. So we have a little bit more space. Somebody can ask, like, what does MI mean? MI means monster infrequent. It is very special to this game. And it simply means that, like, that sort of item belongs to that sort of enemy or that specific enemy. So, for instance, Warden is capable of dropping his MI, and his MI is a mace, right? That gives, like, +1 to skeletons. So that is like the base of the item. Every time you manage to find his MI, it will have +1 to skeletons. Now on top of this, there's some RNG obviously, there's rare suffixes, prefixes, there's going to be, you know, your item is gonna roll one suffix, one prefix, and yeah, you're gonna end up having a different version of this mace, let's say. But it will, every time, if it's the Warden mace, if it's the Warden MI, it will every time has this skeleton +1, and there's so many of these MIs, like all kind of different cool shit. Trust me, in Grim Dawn, and it's very, very cool. Like some of the items, like my Spellbreaker, if you watched any of the videos, I'm like full cold, even though we are using Chosen Sky Shard. Chosen Sky Shard is like lightning and cold. I have a mace that is coming from one of the undeads in this game, says converts the entire lightning to cold for the Chosen, so like I can scale just cold thanks to that, and it's very, very cool mechanic in my opinion. Stuff like this can be done in this game. Why are you chasing me? Just kill my pets. Power. The hell? Oh shit, they're dead, guys. Stop killing my pets, man. Holy shit. Okay, we found the tainted brain matter. This is lovely. We have some greaves over here. That is definitely better than mine. I'm gonna drop this on the floor, pick this one up instead. I can't even carry some chipped clothes, man. Let's see. A hand cannon. I wish we were able to dual wield. I cannot carry it right now anyways. We have one-handed range again, an ice spike, and a one-handed axe. Drop this one. I think axes are like 4 square. Oh shit, it's not maybe. Okay, sometimes there's some lore inside that shit. Kill the clock as well. Let's go back to Devil's Crossing. I think we're gonna also need to like run the Cave of Mr. Barnabas, don't we? Let's run the Cave of Barnabas as well, real quick. So, I wanted to finish the Act 1 basically in this video, and surprisingly it's going pretty smooth. I don't necessarily know like how many minutes we are in. I don't really have my OBS tabbed in on my second monitor at all, but one thing is like I really like I mentioned this before in a different video, and then like I've gotten some feedback about it that like people actually don't mind this kind of like chill videos either, and I think they're not going to be like, when I do something like this, they're not going to be like straight to the point. I don't necessarily think that I'm going to have something like planned in my mind that I would like to say. I'm just gonna like talk about, you know, whatever, and I think like I do enjoy this type of thing. It's not going to be only this, but you know, whoever digs this type of video are going to have that too, because I really do enjoy making something like this. Trust me, you can probably like understand it anyways. About those devotions that I said, like keep it simple and like search for, you know, supporting your spell. So if it's like fire, just write fire into the bar and pick one of the fire, you know, closer things, go for that. On top of that, like what you could also do is that like you could check some of my builds and see what sort of devotions I'm going for, and say, you know, say like in this case this one, Sailor's Guide. for instance. Like half of my builds, almost maybe like 70% of my builds, they don't have it anymore in the late game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that in the early game it is, you know, not valuable. It's pretty valuable. Like that was literally the first thing that I've gone for, even though, you know, we could have gained more DPS from somewhere else, for sure. Because like movement speed is really good while leveling, right? A little bit of, you know, slow and freeze resistance is really, really good, so that like we don't necessarily, you know, find ourselves in a sticky situation. Physical resistance is fine as well. And it also gives just a tiny little bit of like resistances too, if I'm not mistaken, cold and lightning, so it's fine. Man, this guy's gonna disappear soon. Okay. God damn it, we should have sold some stuff. So, we have a shield, but unfortunately Warden didn't drop his MI, I just realized. That fucker, man. I'm gonna need to come back for that guy. I'm gonna do that in the next time. I don't really know if I'm going to be recording with this character more, but we could do it. What is this cap? I'll definitely get that MI. I want 9 skeletons. I don't want 8 skeletons, I want 9. Okay, so how do we carry those, you guys? Do I really need to like double time? Let's just leave them on the floor, right? It should be okay. Should be okay. Iron bits are going to be fine, I think. Let's return some quests here. Just to make sure that we don't necessarily like delete something that is very good. This is pretty good. That one was very, very good actually for this level. This is surprising. It's good armor, good HP, you know, gives a little bit of like multiplicative ethereal damage, whatever. It's fine. I like my shield right now. I'm not gonna change that. Alright, these are fine. We have like a ring over here that's like offensive ability is better than aether damage. Like the aether damage is not doing anything for me, so need this one as well. Yeah, we failed to do the Slith necklace quest, right? This quest is literally cursed for me. We could actually like try and complete that right away. Like I wouldn't mind it, in fact. But something is eating me alive, and we will check that out before doing that, in fact. Yeah, like if you're playing like without any items whatsoever, in my opinion, like Slith Necklace quest is probably worth doing. In my opinion, that is simply because like it gives you like reliable 10%. I have the fabric for you. You know, let's say reliable 10% elemental resistances, and at the start of the game, it is in my opinion pretty good. It's good to have for sure. Let's talk to Barnabas apparently. Hey, inventory bag. Nice. Should have taken that earlier, I think. We have a level 20 chest. We could use that when we're level 20. Why not? I think we're gonna be like 17 here if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay, so this guy says like stranger beckons. So that is like the new quest, right? That is like the Forgotten Gods part of this game now. And you can go for it like as you can see right after killing Warden, okay? So we're gonna take this quest. We're gonna jump inside here, okay? We're gonna come to the Conclave of the Three. I really want to check something out. We talk to this. I'll take onto your challenge. Worthy purpose. Like, what sort of levels are these going to have? I have like this. You know, this is the first time I'm ever doing this at level 17. Coming down here. Are we gonna die? Like, are these like very high level? No, they're actually like level 17. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So you can definitely start this at level 17 and it should be pretty fun, to be honest with you. It should be a fun journey. I also want to see like the experience of the quests, because like what this game does is that like they have never actually like scaled the amount of experience that you gain from quests. So if a quest is giving like, let's say 50k experience, if I'm not mistaken, it gives 50k like no matter what level you're at. That is usually why if you can like make it to ultimate very fast, then you're going to be getting boosted sort of by the quest experience that you're going to gain. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of wondering like what sort of experience we're gonna gain from these. maybe it scales now, you know, it was almost nothing. We're now tolerated by these folk as well. And I'll speak to them. Yeah, sure. Let's go select the Bismail. I don't know if that's the summoner. This is something else that we can talk about. Like there's 3 of them that you can select here. But no, one thing is that like, you know, you're gonna get revered like maximum reputation with every single one of them. That is what you're supposed to do apparently. So why are you selecting one then? It's basically just like the story is changing a little bit, so you're doing different quests along the way, and at the same time you're obviously boosting the reputation of that guy, whoever you chose, a little bit more. I'll work for the Bismail for the first time, it's fine. Let's take this quest as well. Vanish. So this was the entire goal of this character, but we do have a problem. I think this is going to require a melee weapon. Ah, you did not see that coming now, did you, Malagant? Hold up. We go back to Devil's Crossing. So this was the entire point of this video. Now, what I'm going to tell you is that like you're leveling a new character. I don't necessarily care if you have like a XP potion. I don't necessarily care if you're going for a summoner. As long as you're not playing with pistols or rifles, you can continue doing what I'm just going to say now. But even if you're doing so, even if you're like continuing and playing with like pistols and rifles, then what you could do is you could buy something else than this from the other quartermasters in that area, in that town. Conclave of 3, I think it was called. Let's buy a pet damage melee weapon. Hopefully, do you sell such a thing, friend? Hey, there's something there. All damage increase. Okay, is it worth it? All damage 15%, 1k. Yes, give it to me. We'll put this here. Wait, this is for a medallion, right? It's not the Count Strike anymore. My bad, my bad. We need to buy a medallion, actually. 3% experience gain on both of them. %7 energy. I think the other one is much better. Physique and spirit. And we're gonna need to buy this one. So, you use this one on the medal. You have a vanish thanks to this. And this is going to be your first mobility. And it will, like, vanish specifically requires a melee weapon to be able to use. And this is going to be giving you the mobility that you need while leveling, while like being sneaky around a little bit, let's say, or running fast from location to location. If you enjoy like rotating your camera, you should definitely utilize rotating your camera simply because like you're capable of seeing the target from far away. You know, thanks to this now. So this was like bugging me so hard. Was I able to like create a new character, just like jump into Forgotten Gods as soon as I kill the Warden and then get my first mobility spell immediately? Yes, you are. And that is pretty big. That is pretty big. So everyone should do this in my opinion. Maybe I can make like a, you know, very small video about this and tell that like if you're leveling a new character, you should probably like what you should do is like, you know, after killing the Warden, just jump into the Forgotten Gods part. Just for the sake of like buying the thing, you know what I mean? Maybe inside here. God damn it, where's the Slith necklace? Can you guys drop a necklace for me, please? Feels bad, man. Can check the left side, I guess. Look at this. Beautiful. They don't drop anything. I think I scaled too high. Oh, maybe that guy might drop it. No. There's going to be a boss inside here, isn't there? Ah, Slith necklace. Okay. Out of here. Out of here. So what else can you buy though, if you think about it? I think you can buy like teleport. I think you can buy like charge, sort of. Some sort of like a leap slam. Some sort of like a disengage, if I'm not mistaken. There's the Shadow Strike that I just took. I think Shadow Strike is the best traveler, but it's not necessarily the tankiest one. Definitely not. So this quest is giving you the resistance ring, and if your like account is new, if your character is new, this is probably worth running around with. So before I lose my voice, I think I'm in fact going to call this so that I can stream this stream a little bit tomorrow as well. Thank you very much for watching, YouTube. This was Act 1, and I think we do have a little bit of value for just entering the Forgotten Gods right after killing the warden, even if we are not going to be doing it, even if we are going to continue the Act 2. Jump in, it only costs 800, and then you buy yourself a medal, stick that in, you have a new mobility spell. Every single character out there, southbound, new account, old account, doesn't matter, they have a new mobility at level 15. Perfect in my opinion. Thanks for watching, dudes.